Welcome to this background talk about the Skill 55 water technology within WorldSkills International. My name is Rüdiger Heidebrecht. I'm working for WorldSkills Germany I'm a skill supervisor for this skill. In the coming slides, I will tell you why we need this skill, how it was developed, and what is going on in Europe, and what I think will be the future of this skill. In this slide, you see the German national team in Kazan, Russia in 2019, coming into the opening ceremony in the football stadium where 40,000 people were watching them. More than 60 nations took place in this biggest event of vocational training in the world. And among these young people here, you see the first German water technology official competitors marching in, and in 2019 water technology became an official skill in one of the 60 skills in WorldSkills International, and it was skill number 55. Why do we need this skill, water technology? And here I compiled some facts from the internet and from the United Nations UN Water website. To produce a person's daily food, it takes 2,000 to 500 liters of water. A 50% increase in food demand is expected by 2050. This was the status from the Food Agriculture Organization in Rome. 72% of all freshwater withdrawals are used by agriculture, 60% by industries, and 12% by municipalities. So there's a big demand for fresh water, especially for agriculture. Further on, 2.2 billion people, 1 out of 4, still live without safety managing drinking water, including 115 million people who drink surface water. This is status from the WHO, World Health Organization, and UNICEF. 2.3 billion people, 4 out of 10, still live without safely managing sanitation, including 419 million who practice open defecation. You see, wastewater is still a big problem in the world. This shows also the next figure. 42% of the household wastewater is not safely treated. And only 27% of industrial wastewater is safely treated. So you see there's a huge demand for treating our wastewater from our about 8 billion people in the world. And it will go up to 10 billion people in the world in the coming years. The last figure I chose is about 1,000 daily deaths of children under 5 are due to unsafe water, sanitation and hygiene. So this is really a sad figure because a lot of diseases comes from water. How did we in Germany develop water technology technicians? And as I said, I worked more than 30 years in water technology in Germany. And here are the main figures. So water technology is an occupation in Germany since 1984. There we became an official by law by the Federal Institute for Vocational Training. And since then, we have a 3 years education in Germany. In Germany, we have a dual education. That means 70% of the education takes place in the company, in the organizations, and 30% of the time the young people go to school, to vocational schools. And of course, a curriculum has to be updated, and we updated that in 2002. I was one of the experts doing this in 2002. And we updated the standards, and out of the 3 standards we had at that time, drinking water, wastewater, and waste disposal and recycling, we became a new occupation, joined us, and this was a sewer and industry service. Then in 2024, this occupation was updated again, and now we call it the technologists in water technologists in Germany. and also solid waste recycling and the industry service technologies. All this curriculum is coordinated by the Federal Institute for Vocational Training in Bonn, and the people who are sitting on the table to define that are the Association of the Employers and, of course, the unions in Germany. And that becomes then a bylaw, and it's compulsory to everybody who is in school. On this slide you see some active people here. This was in Stuttgart, Germany in September 2016, where Jane Stokey from WorldSkills International visited Germany, and this was on the wastewater treatment plant in Stuttgart. And that was a main meeting where WorldSkills International agreed officially that a new skill can be developed. Among these, let's say, birth-giving people here is Hubert Roma, Nada Imani from Festo, Danny Gauch, then Robert Schmidt from DWA, and he was head of department in the sewer department in the city of Munich. Jane Stokey from WorldSkills International, UK. Hilmar Titsch, our expert, and he worked on this plant, and Klaus Kronberger from Adiro, and myself. Here we can see the development of the skilled water technology. We started in 2013 in Leipzig during WorldSkills Leipzig with a team of German young people to show WorldSkills community that water technology is a skill and a very important skill. Then company Festo went to Sao Paulo, to Brazil in 2015 to showcase further parts of it in Sao Paulo. And then in 2017 we had a 5 nations skill competition, a presentation skill in Abu Dhabi, and then it became an official skill in Kazan 2019 with 11 nations who took place. Then the coronavirus infected the whole world, and in 2022 we had a special edition with 7 nations in Germany on water technology. In Lyon, first of all, 13 countries registered, but then some of them withdrew, and at the end there were 8 nations in Lyon 2024 for the skills competition. We're looking now forward to Shanghai 2026 to see more countries coming to join us, because we believe that water technology is a very important skill, and I will talk about that later on. In this slide you see the table of countries, 16 countries somehow participated already in the skill, and here you see the different names. What is very important and what we developed also here in Germany is the skill management team, where we have the branch organization, in this case it's DWA, and the companies like Festo, Adiro and other companies are in a working group, in a team. We call it skills management team. And they meet regularly to develop the skills competition and to talk and to develop and to invite also other countries to Germany. There's a training available for other countries to come to Germany to learn about water technology. And we have a Center of Excellence. This is in Stuttgart in the Kerschensteiner Schule, where we do all this training in water technology. Having now a little bit wider look to the European community, and as you know, we try to develop more and more water laws in Europe together, that not one state develops a water law. Among all the EU countries, they have the same directives, and the directives are taken into national law. In 2020 we got a new drinking water directive, which was updated from the previous one, and this is now working in all the 27 European states. In 2025, the second urban wastewater treatment directive came into force by January this year, and the first one was issued 1991, and now we have the second one, and that will be also taken over into national laws in all the countries. And within the next 2 years, this becomes a national law. And then we have to skill up our people to learn more what the legal requirements are. The goal of all this is to get a harmonized European law, not only in the water sector. These kind of directives, you find them in all the different areas. Water law is one point. The second very important things are the technical standards. How really to design, to construct, to operate and to maintain the infrastructure. In 1957, I was just a baby at that time. DWA started with the development at wastewater standards in Germany. Since then, the associations, also DVGW, is providing technical scientific standards for the whole water sector. In 1961, the foundation of the European Committee for Standardization took place because Europe wants to get more together, closer together. In 1989, the foundation of the Technical Committee TC164 Wastewater Engineering took place. I joined this technical committee from the German side end of the 19th, and some years I was one of the delegates to TC165. We harmonized a lot of technical standards in the field of wastewater in Europe. And you can see here the figure from Wikipedia. More than 60,000 experts from 34 European countries are developing technical standards for about 500 million people in Europe for all the different branches. And you can see here these are even more than the 27 European standards. Countries like Switzerland, Turkey and Norway also, and the UK are also in the European standardization. And of course the goal again is a harmonized European market. So law get harmonized, the technical standards get harmonized. But what about the qualification? The qualification is here now, the European Development in TEVET. On the left-hand side, you see, this is not TEVET, this is the academic development, the Bologna process, which started 1999 and it came to, let's say, a kind of end in 2010, where all the master and bachelor studies degrees were harmonized in Europe. I myself, I'm a diplom engineer in Germany, but this does not exist anymore because nobody understood this kind of qualification around the world. Now in Europe, we have harmonized European university degrees. Since 2008, we have now the European qualification framework, which was developed to compare the qualification also on the non-academic level and the academic level from one country to another countries. So this is our benchmark now in Europe. It has 8 levels. 1 is a layperson and 8 is a professor. Number 4 is the technicians after 3 years of qualifications. And the level of WorldSkills test project is between 4 and 5 European qualification level. So this means it's good for the vocational school and it's even good for the academic teaching as well. On the right-hand side, you see development which took place in 2020. This is Osnabrück Declaration, where all the educational ministries of Europe came together and they said we have to do more on the vocational side and to do a digital and green economics, and we have to harmonize also the vocational qualification, at least to compare them so that the people can move from one country to another country without any problems. And the black one down there, you can see support the preparation and participation of national teams to the EuroSkills competition to raise the attractiveness and image of TEVET, promote VET excellence in Europe and achieve campaign status in the global WorldSkills competition. So also WorldSkills and EuroSkills competition are mentioned in this Osnabrück Declaration to be a good benchmark and a good way to harmonize the qualified workforce in Europe. We have the legal harmonization, we have the technical harmonization, And in the years to come, we will also have to harmonization of qualified workforce. Especially in new skills, when you look for skills like cybersecurity, these are international standards where you have to learn. There are national standards getting smaller and smaller impact. Water technology is a very important skill and an important job. In the Stockholm Water Week in 2017, I went there, and the report, the United Nations World Water Development Report, came out 2016. And the main focus was 3 out of 4 jobs are water dependent. So we will see that without water, a lot of other skills would not be existing. We need water in many industries, in many trades. And to have clean and safe water is very urgent needed. And if we don't have that, we have a lot of stress in the countries. And therefore, water technology is a very important skill to develop. It's a pity that not many countries in the world do have occupations on site in reality for the workforce in water technology. And I think it's urgent time to work on that and to develop a global standard for water technology. The beauty of WorldSkills is that you can develop standards. So WorldSkills competitions are not covering all the occupation, all the content of occupation. The WorldSkill test project in skill number 55, water technology, covered at least 1/3 of the occupational standard from Germany. It is a good way to promote global qualification standard by participating in such a global challenge. Learning intelligence works for youngsters, but also for older staff and for university students all over the world. When I worked for DWA, we did that in the different parts of the world during the trade shows with students, with older people, and with youngsters. And you have seen that harmonized legal and technical standards will pave the way for common learning standards. Having WorldSkills International test projects on level 4 to 5 of the European Qualification Framework, it's very suitable for vocational learning and also for academical learning. A lot of countries are using this also on the academical learning. WorldSkills doesn't care where the people comes from, as long as they can repair a pump or whatever. And WorldSkills updated their occupational descriptions every 2 years. So the experts sit down for one day every 2 years, look on the technical descriptions and update them. And I think that is also a beauty of WorldSkills, to define a more or less worldwide standard, which of course will not cover the whole occupation in a country, but it gives a good hint what should be in the occupation in water. Now on the last slide, you see here staying in front of Water Technology 55 in Kazan 2019 with Hilmar Tetsch and Lukas Kohl, who was a German competitor in this time. And we need more and more qualified water technicians, more than ever, because the world is growing from 8 to 10 billion people. The water resources are not increasing in the same amount. We will have climate change adaptation needed. We have a global change warming, and this will again give a big challenge among that. Digitalization is another big challenge for the water sector, but it could be used carefully to improve the situation. Therefore, ladies and gentlemen, work and help us to develop WorldSkills skill number 55, water technician. Moreover, and if you have interest, don't bother. Contact us, we will help you. Goodbye. See you then. Bye-bye.